today we are going to discuss comparing and contrasting two items. So, to start, when you compare two things, that is telling how those two things are the same. Now, items that you compare or contrast can be essentially any noun. It could be a person, a place, a thing. It could even be an event that happened or a story you read. So, for example, think if you read a story and were given the assignment of comparing the two girls who were the main characters of that story. Comparisons you could make are, were they the same age? Did they look the same? Were they from the same place? And different things that they had in common. Now, if you were to contrast, you would tell how those two girls were different. So, for example, were they different heights? Did they have different hair colors? Different things like that is how you would compare and contrast. So, comparing is telling how they are the same, what they have in common, and contrasting is telling how they're different. So a Venn diagram is the most popular tool used when comparing and contrasting. For a Venn diagram, you'll have two circles, and your first circle discusses your first topic, while your second circle discusses your second topic. And where they overlap are things that pertain to both topics. So, for example, if you were going to contrast orcas to blue whales, you could have things all about orcas here, things all about blue whales here, and things that they have in common in the middle. The outside parts are when you're contrasting, you're telling how they're different, and the middle is when you are comparing. So before we started, I gave you all sheets talking about octopus and squid. So we are going to discuss what we learned. Now there are many things that octopus and squid that are different from each other and that are the same. But I selected 5 from each and then 2 things that they share in common that we're going to discuss. I will read them and then we're going to talk about whether it pertains to octopus, giant squid, or if it's something that describes both of them. So the first thing would be largest eyes. Which one has the largest eyes?
The squid.
The squid. You are correct. This giant squid has beach ball sized eyes, which are much larger than any other animal in the whole world. So that is something unique to it. Now, invertebrate. Invertebrate means that they don't have bones. Which one describes invertebrate?
Both.
Yeah, both.
It would be both. They are both invertebrates. Right, our next one is shoots ink. Which one shoots ink for protection?
That would be the squid.
Yeah. Actually, that is the octopus.
Is it really?
Yeah. It says right here, if threatened,
Yep.
octopuses shoot an inky fluid that darkens the water.
Confusing the aggressor, yeah.
So, our next one is which one lives on the ocean floor. Now this one can be a little tricky, but which one do you think it is?
Octopus.
The octopus.
It is the octopus. And my computer's going a little fast. All right. Okay, so now our next one is beak. Which one of these animals has a beak?
Like squid. Squid.
It would be a squid. Very good.
Well, from the movie, I can remember that part. It's got a beak.
All right,
Scary.
now our next one is lives 2 to 3 years. Oh, sorry, 1 to 2 years. Still had it written.
Octopus.
That is an octopus. Very good. All right, our next one is whip-like arms. So which one has whip-like arms?
The octopus.
It is the squid. They both
This is
have
squid, I was thinking.
8 arms, but
Yeah.
the squid actually has 2 other whip-like tentacles.
Ah, okay.
Now, which one changes color?
That would be the octopus.
That is the octopus, and that is a form of camouflage. Right? Which one is carnivorous? Their diets they often eat different things, but which one is carnivorous?
Both.
They are both carnivorous. Now, squids eat several different things, where octopus often, their food is much smaller, but they are still both meat eaters. So, with that in mind, which one eats whales?
Squid.
The giant squid. Right, we got two more. So, which one is 6 to 22 pounds?
Was it an octopus?
And by comparison, which one is 440 pounds?
Wait. Giant squid.
The giant squid. All right, so now our last thing that we're going to do is do a compare and contrast Kahoot. So, let me very quickly pull this up. And you each have your own devices, and you are separated into teams. So, I have it pulled up, and you are going to be all right, so these are your teams. So in your game code, you will enter this number.
Time for the Story House, reality TV's only show filled with your favorite writers and characters. Welcome everyone to another edition of the Story House. I'm Sophia Romero, and tonight, a first on our show, characters from different stories by the same author are up for possible eviction. For years, I've enjoyed the stories of author Lisa Duwally, whose books about the kids of Lakeston, Maine are among my favorites.
All right, and we will get
Especially
started. So, what you will do is you will be given options to answer these questions. So, what tool do we use to compare and contrast with?